In the grand tapestry of history, some leaders are defined by the empires they conquer, others by the wealth they amass, but a rare few are remembered for the light they bring to the world. Their reigns, however brief, become beacons of hope and justice. This is the story of one such leader, a man who in just over 2 years transformed an empire and left a legacy that continues to inspire millions. This is the story of Umar ibn Abd al-Aziz, the righteous Caliph who revived the soul of a nation. Chapter 1. Introduction. In the early 8th century, the Umayyad Caliphate stretched from the Iberian Peninsula to the borders of India. It was an empire of immense power and wealth, yet it was also an empire grappling with internal divisions, social injustice, and a growing distance from its spiritual foundations. The ruling dynasty had become known for its worldly ambitions and lavish lifestyles. Into this complex political landscape stepped a man who would challenge the very notion of power. Often called Umar II, he is revered by many as the fifth rightly guided Caliph, placing him in the esteemed company of Islam's earliest and most pious leaders. His name was Umar ibn Abd al-Aziz, and his story is a profound testament to the power of faith, humility, and unwavering commitment to justice. His brief but brilliant reign would become a defining moment in Islamic history, a golden age recalled with reverence, proving that true leadership is not about commanding obedience but about serving humanity. Chapter 2. The pious upbringing. The character of a leader is often forged long before they assume power. For Umar ibn Abd al-Aziz, his journey began in the sacred city of Medina around the year 682. This was no ordinary city. It was the city of the Prophet Muhammad, the cradle of Islamic civilization, and a vibrant center of religious scholarship. Umar was born into a lineage of great significance through his mother. He was a direct descendant of the second Caliph, the great Umar ibn al-Khattab, a man renowned for his justice and piety. This connection was more than just a name. It was a legacy that would deeply influence his own path. Growing up in Medina, young Umar was surrounded by the leading scholars of his time, the students of the Prophet's own companions. He didn't just study knowledge, he breathed it. He memorized the Quran, delved deep into the traditions of the Prophet, known as Hadith, and learned the principles of Islamic jurisprudence from its purest sources. His education wasn't merely academic. It was a holistic spiritual and moral training. His teachers and peers noted his exceptional piety, his humility, and his profound sense of duty. This upbringing in the heartland of Islam instilled in him a character that was unswayed by worldly temptations, and a conscience that was finely tuned to the principles of justice and compassion. He was being prepared for a destiny he did not seek, but for which he was uniquely qualified. Chapter 3. The reluctant Caliph. Before his caliphate, Umar had already served as the governor of Medina, where his just and wise administration won him the love and respect of the people. However, he was far from the center of power in Damascus and had no ambition for the empire's highest office. The story of his ascension to the Caliphate in 717 AD is one of reluctance and a heavy sense of responsibility. The reigning Caliph, his cousin Sulayman, lay on his deathbed. In a surprising and unprecedented move, Sulayman bypassed his own brothers and sons, and in his will, he named Umar as his successor. When the will was read aloud, Umar was shocked. He initially refused the position, declaring to the assembled masses that he did not want it and that they were free to choose another. He understood the immense burden that came with the role, the accountability not just to the people, but to God. But the people, who knew of his piety and justice, insisted. They pledged their allegiance, seeing in him a return to the righteous leadership of the early caliphs. With a heavy heart, Umar accepted the caliphate, not as a prize to be enjoyed, but as a sacred trust to be fulfilled. His first act as caliph set the tone for his entire reign. He rejected the customary pomp and ceremony, dismissed the royal guards, and chose a simple life over the opulence of the Umayyad court. Chapter 4. A reign of reform. Umar inherited a vast and complex empire, but he began his reforms not by leading through his own actions. Grand decrees, but with himself. He and his wife famously gave up all their personal wealth, jewelry, and lavish estates, depositing them into the state treasury, the Bitul-Mal, for the benefit of the public. He traded the luxurious palaces of his predecessors for a simple dwelling, living a life of austerity that mirrored that of the poorest of his subjects. His reign, though lasting only about 2.5 years, was a whirlwind of transformative change. One of his most significant reforms addressed a deep-seated social injustice. Non-Arab converts to Islam, known as the Mawali, were often treated as second-class citizens, forced to pay taxes from which Arab Muslims were exempt. Umar abolished this discriminatory practice, declaring that faith, not ethnicity, was the defining characteristic of a Muslim. He established that all Muslims were equal in rights and responsibilities, a radical move that unified the community and strengthened the empire from within. He launched a war on corruption, dismissing unjust officials and returning confiscated lands to their rightful owners. He ensured that justice was accessible to all, protecting the rights of religious minorities and establishing a system where even the humblest citizen could bring a complaint against the most powerful governor. Chapter 5. The legacy. Umar's vision extended beyond social and economic reform. He sought to preserve the very foundations of Islamic knowledge. Recognizing that the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad were primarily transmitted orally, he worried they could be lost or altered over time. He therefore commissioned the first ever official large-scale project to collect, verify, and compile the Hadith. This monumental undertaking laid the groundwork for the great Hadith collections that followed, and became a cornerstone of Islamic law and theology for centuries to come. He was a champion of education for all, sending scholars throughout the empire to teach people their religion. He governed not as an autocrat, but through consultation, surrounding himself with a council of pious and knowledgeable advisors. His just rule brought such prosperity that historical accounts narrate a time when it was difficult to find a single person in the empire who was in need of charity. Zakat, the obligatory alms, would be collected, but administrators would search in vain for the poor to give it to them. He passed away in the year 720 AD at the young age of 38. His reign was short, but its impact was immeasurable. He had shown the world that it was possible to govern a vast empire with humility, justice, and a deep, abiding faith. Chapter 6. Reflection. The life of Umar ibn Abd al-Aziz remains a timeless model of ideal leadership. He was a ruler who saw power not as a privilege, but as a profound responsibility. He measured his success not in treasures or territories, but in the well-being and spiritual health of his people. He healed social divisions, championed knowledge, and governed with a conscience that held itself accountable to a higher authority. In a world where leadership is often associated with dominance and self-interest, Umar's story is a powerful reminder that true greatness lies in service, humility, and justice. He revived the spirit of Islam, demonstrating that its core principles of equality and compassion could form the basis of a just and prosperous society. His shining, albeit brief, reign serves as an enduring inspiration, a testament to the fact that one person, guided by faith and a sincere desire for good, can indeed change the world. His legacy is not one of stone monuments, but of a revived ideal, an example of righteous leadership that continues to echo through the corridors of time.